The Short Frights podcast presents Poppy Story written by R.M. Lyle. Stories take time to sink their teeth into us. I could tell you now how this one ends, but it wouldn't have the same impact. Not yet anyway. It's not until you see yourself in the story, until it feels real, that you become truly invested. Don't get too invested. This was something Poppy had to keep in mind. She was a hospice worker, which required a certain level of detachment to protect herself from the pain of her patient inevitable ends, however. Poppy couldn't wait for Mr. Creswell to die. His coughing fits unsettled her. His delusions drove her mad. And now, as she prepared to sew up a tear in his nightgown, she wished more than ever for his swift demise. Poppy opened a drawer to retrieve a needle and felt a chill in the air. Why, oh why, did Mr. Creswell insist on leaving the window? Windows opened, distracted. Poppy's hand slipped. She pricked herself with the needle and watched as a spot of blood bloomed on Mr. Creswell's gown. Then from the other room she thought she heard something, one of Mr. Creswell's sickly coughs. She listened carefully. There it was again. Poppy didn't want to, but she knew she should check to see if he was okay. The floorboards creaked beneath her feet as she approached the room. As usual, there lay Mr. Creswell, tucked under the covers of his bed. He was so weak, it sometimes looked as though he were dead already. But no, he was still very much alive. The door. Mr. Creswell rasped, "Something outside. Wants to hurt us. Please don't leave me. Don't let it in. Nowhere to run. Puppy, stay with me." Poppy hid. She could hear Mr. Creswell pleading with her through the door. "Don't leave, please, Poppy. I need you." Mr. Creswell rose from the bed. He was coming to find her, coming to stop her from leaving, coming to keep her, to let her know just how badly he needed her to teach her that there would be consequences if she were to ever disappoint him like this. Mr. Creswell was just outside the door. He stood there unmoving now. Our story is coming to a close, and dear Poppy is out of music time. The Short Frights podcast presents Poppy Story, written by R.M. Lyle. Stories take time to sink their teeth into us. I could tell you now how this one ends. Don't you want to know how it ends, Poppy? I'll show you. Mr. Creswell took her delicate face and slammed it into the ground over and over until the floorboards splintered. He thrashed her about the room until her body was mangled and bent until she was nearly unrecognizable. And so ended Poppy's story.